Have you ever wondered what impact George Washington truly had on the United States? Today we delve into the life of America's first president. As we embark on this journey, let's first consider the legacy of George Washington. His influence on the United States is monumental, shaping not only the country's formative years, but also its enduring identity. His leadership was instrumental in carving out a nation from the rough and tumble of revolution and birthing a new republic. Let's pause for a moment and reflect on the monuments and institutions that bear his name. These aren't just granite and marble structures or educational institutions. They are living testaments to the enduring significance of Washington's legacy. The capital city, the towering Washington Monument, and the prestigious George Washington University are all imbued with the spirit of a man who helped define the destiny of a nation. But the legacy of Washington is not confined to these physical structures. His impact extends far beyond his presidency, seeping into the very fabric of American ethos. His decision to step away from power after 2 terms set a precedent that continues to guide the presidency today. His recognition of the structural importance of willingly leaving office, the trust and confidence he inspired, these were all instrumental in establishing the executive branch as we know it. Yet, like all great figures in history, Washington was a man of complexities. His ownership of enslaved individuals, his evolving views on slavery, these are aspects of his life that continue to be subjects of historical reflection. They remind us that even heroes are human, shaped by the circumstances of their time. In examining his life, we see a multifaceted legacy, one that encompasses both his remarkable achievements and the complexities of his personal and political life. A man who was not just the first president, but a pivotal figure who left an indelible imprint on the soul of a nation. Now, let's turn back the clock and start from the beginning. George Washington's journey began in Virginia in 1732. Born into a family of prosperous planters, young George was primarily homeschooled, learning the rudiments of practical surveying, an occupation that would serve him well later in life. His father's untimely death when George was just 11 years old, however, brought about a significant change in his circumstances. While his older half-brothers inherited the larger part of their father's estate, George was left to be raised by his mother, a strong-willed woman known for her stern demeanor. His early career as a surveyor began when he was appointed the official surveyor of Culpeper County, Virginia, at the tender age of 17. His work took him to the western frontier of Virginia, opening his eyes to the vast potential and inherent challenges of the American landscape, a knowledge that would serve him well in the years to come. However, young Washington's ambitions lay beyond surveying. His half-brother Lawrence's connections led him to secure a commission as a major in the Virginia militia. This marked the start of his military career, a phase that was to prove pivotal in shaping his future. During the French and Indian War, he experienced firsthand the harsh realities of military life and leadership. It was a trial by fire that tested his mettle and honed his tactical acumen. He faced numerous challenges, including a disastrous defeat at Fort Necessity and the brutal winter at Valley Forge. However, these experiences, though testing, were not in vain. They instilled in him a resilience and a resolve that would see him through the greatest challenge of his life, the fight for American independence. George Washington's early years were a blend of loss, opportunity, challenge, and perseverance. His experiences as a surveyor opened up a world of possibilities, while his military career taught him the harsh realities of leadership and warfare. These formative years, filled with trials and triumphs, helped shape the man who would become the first president of the United States. The experiences of his early life shaped Washington and prepared him for the challenges that lay ahead. As tensions with Great Britain escalated, Washington found himself at the forefront of a revolution. This monumental period in history saw George Washington, an ambitious leader, stepping up to take on the role of a lifetime. Washington was appointed Commander-in-Chief of the Continental Army, a position he accepted with humility, fully aware of the challenges that lay ahead. He was a novice in the art of war, yet he was tasked with leading a budding nation into battle against a global superpower. But Washington was not one to back down. He embraced the role, displaying a level of courage and resilience that would become the hallmark of his leadership. Throughout the course of the American Revolution, Washington's leadership was tested time and again. He faced an uphill battle, with an undertrained, under-equipped army and the daunting task of taking on the might of the British military. Yet, despite these odds, Washington's resolve never wavered. He led his troops through the bitter winters at Valley Forge, the surprising victories at Trenton and Princeton, and the pivotal battle at Yorktown, which ultimately led to British surrender. Washington's leadership style was unique. He led from the front, often putting himself in the line of fire. His unwavering commitment to the cause inspired his troops and instilled in them a sense of purpose. He was not just a leader, but a symbol of the revolution itself. But it wasn't just his courage and resilience that set him apart. Washington was a strategic thinker, a quality that was evident in his decision-making. He understood the importance of alliances, as seen in his successful collaboration with the French. His ability to adapt and evolve his strategies in response to changing circumstances was instrumental in the success of the revolution. With the war won, Washington's leadership didn't end on the battlefield. His role in the revolution had cemented his place as a national hero, yet his greatest contributions to the young nation were still to come. Washington's journey from revolutionary leader to the first president of the United States is a testament to his enduring legacy. In 1789, Washington took on a new role, the first president of the United States. A position never before held, Washington had the task of setting a precedent for all future presidents. His presidency was a blend of firm leadership, strategic decision-making, and a keen understanding of the infant nation's needs. Washington's presidency was marked by key decisions that shaped the budding nation. One of his most influential choices was the establishment of a cabinet of advisors. This group, which included luminaries such as Thomas Jefferson and Alexander Hamilton, played a significant role in guiding the nation's early policy decisions. It was Washington who set the standard for this collaborative form of governance, a tradition that continues to this day. Another pivotal moment in Washington's presidency was his handling of the Whiskey Rebellion in 1794. By choosing to use federal authority to quell the insurrection, he demonstrated the strength and authority of the national government at a time when its power was still in question. However, perhaps the most influential aspect of Washington's presidency was not a decision he made while in office, but rather his decision to step away from power. After serving 2 terms, Washington chose to retire, setting a precedent for presidential term limits. This action was a powerful testament to his belief in a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. In stepping down, he solidified the concept that no one person should hold power indefinitely, a principle that has shaped the presidency ever since. Washington's presidency was not merely about leading a new nation, it was about defining the structure and character of the American government. His influence reached far beyond his time in office, setting the tone for the nation's approach to governance, leadership, and democracy. Even after leaving office, Washington's impact on the nation was far from over. His legacy, as complex as the man himself, continues to be a source of inspiration and reflection, reminding us of the power of leadership and the importance of public service. Washington's legacy is not without its complexities. The man who was instrumental in shaping America's identity also harbored contradictions that are still dissected today. George Washington, the nation's first president, was also a slave owner. This is a fact that cannot be glossed over or omitted when discussing his legacy. In the context of the 18th century, owning enslaved individuals was a widespread practice among the elite. Washington was no exception. From his adolescence, he inherited enslaved individuals and acquired more throughout his lifetime. However, as he grew older and more reflective, his views on slavery began to shift. Washington's evolving perspective on slavery was a journey, one that moved from seeing enslaved people as property to recognizing them as individuals deserving of freedom. This evolution was not sudden but gradual, influenced by his experiences during the American Revolution and his interactions with abolitionists. His will, penned just months before his death, revealed a significant change in his stance. In it, Washington made provisions to free the enslaved people he owned, a decision that was both personal and political. The man who had once been a slave owner was now setting in motion a plan to end the bondage of those he held in servitude. Yet this act of liberation did not erase the years of enslavement Washington had sanctioned. The paradox of a freedom fighter who himself owned slaves is a complex aspect of Washington's legacy. It's a part of his story that prompts reflection and prompts us to grapple with the complexities of historical figures. It's these complexities that make Washington's legacy rich and multidimensional. They force us to reckon with the reality that even great leaders can harbor contradictions. They remind us that our heroes are human, capable of change, growth, and fallibility. Despite these complexities, George Washington remains a revered figure in American history. He is remembered not just for his accomplishments, but also for his evolution, his capacity for change, and his enduring influence on the nation he helped to create. George Washington's legacy is a multifaceted one. His influence seeps into the very foundations of America, shaping its identity and its future. As we journey through the annals of history, we can see the profound impact Washington left on the nation. His leadership during the Revolutionary War was a beacon of hope for a fledgling nation. The courage and resilience he demonstrated in the face of adversity set a precedent for the leaders who followed. His decision to step down after 2 terms showed his deep respect for the democratic process, an act that has influenced presidents for centuries. Washington's presidency was instrumental in establishing the nation's capital, a city that bears his name and is a testament to his influence. The Washington Monument, a towering figure on the horizon, mirrors the stature of the man it represents. The George Washington University, a leading institution of higher education, continues to uphold the values he held dear. Yet, his legacy is not without its complexities. As a slave owner, Washington's views on slavery evolved over his lifetime. In his will, he made provisions to free the enslaved individuals he owned, a decision that reflects the complexities of his character and the times he lived in. This aspect of his life invites us to delve deeper into the history, to understand and learn from the past. Washington's legacy extends beyond the physical monuments and institutions that bear his name. His character, his leadership, his belief in the democratic process, these are the enduring aspects of his legacy that continue to shape America. His life and contributions have left an indelible mark on the nation's history. His story is a reminder of the power of leadership and the importance of character. It's a testament to the potential of one individual to shape the destiny of a nation. As we reflect on his life and contributions, we can see that George Washington's legacy continues to shape the United States. His legacy, like the nation he helped found, lives on.